We often think of a life falling apart as this huge, dramatic explosion, right? A big, catastrophic event that you can point to. But what if it's not like that at all? What if it happens quietly, silently even? A slow erosion that you don't even notice until it's way too late. Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. This idea of the silent collapse and how the tiniest things we ignore can actually have the biggest, most destructive impact on our future.
Yeah, just let that one sink in for a second. This is the whole idea in a nutshell. It's suggesting that the biggest threat to the life you want to live isn't some disaster that comes out of nowhere. No, it's the small, seemingly harmless patterns that you're repeating every single day.
So, what is this silent collapse exactly? Well, think of it as this unseen threat. It's the slow decay that happens when we're just not paying attention. It's not one big wound, it's more like death by 1,000 paper cuts. Each little cut on its own feels like nothing, right? You barely even notice it. But when you put them all together, wow, they can be absolutely devastating.
Okay, so if this whole collapse is caused by these so-called tiny things, what are they? Let's get specific. Let's start calling out the real culprits that are probably hiding in plain sight in your life right now.
And this right here, this really gets to the heart of it. We're all kind of wired to expect our biggest problems to be like a lightning strike, one single dramatic event. But what our source material argues is that the hidden reality, the thing that happens way more often, is that quiet drip, drip, drip of negative habits that eventually wears away the very foundation of our lives.
So this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If they're so small and so easy to ignore, how in the world are we supposed to spot them? Well, luckily for us, the source material gives us some really clear examples.
And here they are. Just think about that first one for a second. Being around people who just drain your energy, who leave you feeling exhausted. We all know someone like that. Or what about physical clutter? That messy desk, that chaotic room. It isn't just messy. It's a constant, low-level signal of chaos being sent straight to your brain. See, these aren't just minor annoyances. They are the consistent, negative inputs that fuel the collapse over time. Okay, so we've identified the what. Now let's get into the why. How can a messy room or a negative friend really have such a massive impact? Well, the answer is actually found in our own neurology.
This is the big aha moment from our source. Your brain is essentially a mirror. It's built to connect, to adapt. So when you're constantly surrounded by negativity or stress or chaos, your brain doesn't just observe it. It starts to mirror it. It unconsciously starts to adopt that emotional state as its own default setting. And it all builds like a chain reaction. It starts with that constant negative exposure we just talked about. Then, without you even realizing it, your brain starts to mirror all that negativity. And this is the crucial part. That whole process eventually pushes you into what's called survival mode. You're not thinking about your future anymore, or your goals, or your growth. Nope. All your mental energy is just being spent trying to get through the day. And this just illustrates the two states we can live in perfectly. On one side, you've got growth mode. You're proactive, you're creative, you're building a better future. And on the other side, there's survival mode. You're just reacting, you're stressed, and you're only focused on staying afloat. The silent collapse? It's that slow, unconscious shift from the growth side over to the survival side.
I know, this all sounds pretty bleak, but here is the good news. Just understanding this mechanism is the first step to reversing it. So let's talk about how to stop this collapse in its tracks and start being the architect of your own future. And that's the crucial thing here. You don't need to quit your job or move to a new city or completely reinvent yourself overnight. The source suggests that the most powerful first step is actually much, much simpler. It's the act of just becoming aware, of noticing the tiny inputs that are shaping your reality every day. Ultimately, this is the key takeaway. The path to getting back control, to shifting back into growth mode, starts with identification. It begins with taking an honest look at your environment, your relationships, your habits, and asking yourself, is this building me up or is it slowly tearing me down? That awareness, that's what gives you the power of choice back. So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. Take a moment. What's that one tiny thing for you? Is it a person, a cluttered space, a thought pattern? Identifying it isn't about judging yourself, not at all. It's about reclaiming your power to build the future you actually want, one small conscious choice at a time.